So in this video, we're gonna be talking about how to elevate our Instagram photos. No more basic pictures. I have to admit, taking pictures was never my forte, but luckily I've had some help and guidance in order to elevate my Instagram pictures. In this video, we're gonna be talking about the three main things that instantly changed my photos. My name is Cathy, if we haven't met, and my favorite topics are fashion and luxury. Today, I feel like we're gonna be talking about fashion photography. When we take Instagram photos, we want it to be high fashion. We don't want it to be basic. We want it to look like something that you would see in a magazine. No more basic pictures for me. No more basic pictures for you after we're done with this video. So last year in January, I decided I needed to up my Instagram game. For that time, I was mostly taking indoor mirror selfies. Now don't get it twisted, my mirror selfies were the bomb. But I just kind of graduated beyond that point. I knew it was time for me to spread my wings and go outside. So basically I did a challenge for the 90 days of not shopping and also posting daily outfit of the day pictures. My initial pictures were a mess. I didn't know what I was doing. I was on the struggle bus. Although I worked as a stylist and I understood clothing and outfit selection, I really just struggled with posing, being a model, and even having quality pictures. You look at beautiful pictures on Instagram and you just kind of think, oh, I can do that. I thought it was gonna be easy. The first week, reality sunk in. I did it for the first 2 months, just kind of winging it. That's when I started realizing like, okay, there's a lot more to having good Instagram photos than just having a cute outfit. Prior to February of 2020, I'd never really had somebody take my Instagram photos. I'd either only taken mirror selfies or taken them myself using like a tripod and a timer. Prior to this initial session, I had a lot of preconceived notions. I was using an iPhone 8 and thought I needed a fancy camera. My friend was able to take good pictures of me just using the fundamentals of good lighting, the correct background, and being able to frame a shot. Those three core concepts are what we're going to talk about in this video. Don't feel like you need to use a professional camera in order to grow your Instagram. If you have one, great. If all you have is an iPhone or a Galaxy, you are half the way there. Before we get into three core things that changed my pictures, you always have to make sure you're using the rear-facing camera on your phone. I know it's hard. It takes some getting used to. It actually takes more time. I shoot my Instagram pictures and my YouTube videos using the rear-facing camera. I sometimes have to stop and look at either the footage I've taken or the pictures to make sure that everything's okay. It's definitely a little bit more time consuming, but at least doing those checks will make sure that you don't have to throw everything away. I also went in and updated some settings on my phone. I'm now using an iPhone 11 and I had to go in and make changes like turning on the grid lines and making changes to the formats in which all my pictures and videos are stored. Nothing crazy, just those small changes were the first step. I think using good lighting is the most important thing when it comes to taking better pictures. I only shoot in natural sunlight. I know like the iPhone and some other cameras say that they can shoot in low light. That's fine if you're just gonna take a picture of you and your friends being out for the night. But if you actually want to do fashion photography type pictures for Instagram, you need to use natural light. Your favorite influencer and mine shoot their pictures in natural daylight. And there's a reason why. Natural sunlight just looks so much better. I do own a ring light and I really don't use it very much. I've been using my ring light more as a tripod lately. I only use a ring light if I have to stream at night or in a dark room, and I rarely do the dark room. So we're gonna do natural sunlight. My recommendation is always either shoot in the shade or on a cloudy day. And I'm not talking about a super cloudy day where it looks dark. No, I'm talking about those days where it's a bright overcast day. I like it when it feels like the sun is about to come through the clouds, but it has not. In terms of shade, you're not gonna be shooting at noon. That's usually when the sun is directly overhead. It's too bright. My recommendation is to either shoot early in the morning or late in the afternoon. So right around sunrise and right before sunset. If I'm shooting and the sun is coming up at this direction, I'm looking for any background that basically has the sun to its back. As the sun's coming, a little bit of the sun's rays are gonna come towards like the wall I'm using, but I will be in the shade. That to me is the best light. So I usually shoot just in backgrounds, but you can also shoot like in front of storefronts. Most buildings early in the morning are gonna have the sun slightly below the buildings. The main thing I look for is that the sun is not directly on you. You almost wanna feel like the sun is filtered. I always recommend though you check the light before you do your whole setup. I will go in and just do a quick selfie like this, and based on how dark or lit up my face is, that lets me know how good the light is. If my face is lit up, I know that the light is gonna be decent in here and I can set up. If the lighting's too dark or if it's too bright, I may sometimes stay, but usually I try to find a different light. I will say I do have some pictures where we'll see direct sunlight or you'll see shadow. Sometimes I use that for like a dramatic effect, but usually I want to be in that nice filtered shade. If you're ever in doubt, use a shaded background. When I was initially shooting, I did not understand this concept. I thought my pictures weren't looking good because I was using just an iPhone. The first time this shaded lighting concept was explained to me, my mind was blown. My friend found a background that had shaded lighting. It looked decent to me, nothing very very special, but when she showed me what my face looked like, how bright and lit up my face was compared to my previous pictures, I knew that going forward I would have to do. There are other places where you can find great shade. If you notice, a lot of your favorite influencers also shoot in these open parking garages. That's because there's always sunlight coming in, but it's shaded. You really need to play around with lighting. My number one criteria is take a look at your face. Your face is the subject. Even though the outfit is important, your face is what people want to see clearly. So always make sure that any picture you're taking is going to allow your face to show and shine. That's pretty much what I look for in lighting. Next up is the background. When I take an outdoor photo, I definitely want to consider how my outfit and the background play together. Some people say you should pick the outfit first. Other people say you should pick the background first. I say it really depends. If I'm shooting one outfit, I usually have a background picked out already. Or sometimes I'll see a background that is so dope. I usually batch a bunch of photos on one day though. So I tend to get in the car and drive around. I do location scout. I do have places in mind and places that fit the aesthetic. I did a shoot for the Christopher John Rogers Target collaboration, and I felt like it was so bright in springtime. The majority of my shoots though are like in the city, whether it be in Phoenix or in Chicago. If you're getting started, definitely location scout. Now that I take pictures on the regular, I do a lot of location scouting just by accident. I'm walking by, I see a place, I take a picture. The good thing about iPhones is iPhones will show you the approximate address of the photo that you've taken. I take pictures and kind of store them in an album. And then when it's time for me to do a shoot, I'll often look at pictures and figure out places that I want to shoot. I personally like to mix between plain and pattern backgrounds. If you're just getting started taking outdoor pictures, I recommend neutral or plain colored background. Pattern backgrounds can definitely overwhelm your outfit if you don't know what you're looking for. Shooting with pattern backgrounds is maybe a little bit more complicated than I want to get in this video, but it can be done. I love to do it. If you'd like to see something else in this series about how to make your pictures better, like whether it be styling or pattern backgrounds, let me know in the comments. I would say the majority of my photos are using a monochromatic background. And if you notice, most of our faves are using neutral background. The one thing that you will notice is they are not using just plain white walls. Like I have a plain wall behind me, but if you're gonna be taking an Instagram picture with a neutral background, you want something that has texture. If you notice, a lot of the pictures that you see on Instagram have a neutral background, but they're often very highly textured. It's either like a painted brick or a stucco or even windows. There's something that gives it texture and dimension, and I think that makes for a more interesting photo. Neutral backgrounds, I say, are the easiest. Just make sure that the undertone matches your skin. Like I have very warm skin, so I look better with warm undertones. Definitely trial and error. When I go out, I will see backgrounds that I like. I will throw on the outfit I have, or maybe just throw it on over the clothes that I'm wearing and take a picture. What I often find is sometimes I nail it right away, but I've definitely had situations where I've tried 2 or 3 backgrounds for one outfit just because each background I try is good, but there's something missing. I love backgrounds that make me light up, meaning the lighting is good and the background just makes me and my clothes pop. And if you marry a good textured background with good lighting, you've basically surpassed 75% of the people taking pictures on Instagram. And that's pretty much it for backgrounds. So the third thing I do to elevate my photos is to really think about how I'm framing pictures. So many people don't know how to frame a picture. Most people just think if I'm taking a picture with a person as the subject, the person needs to be smack dab in the middle and that's it. You need to think of creative viewpoints and ways to frame the photo. Now, don't get me wrong, you can always start with you as the main highlight in the center. I feel like pictures can sometimes be more interesting if you are off to one side or the other. You smack dab in the middle is just like the most basic picture that you've taken. For Instagram or any type of social media, you want pictures that are interesting. The number one rule that I have to remind myself when I'm taking pictures is do not be boring. That comes in my frame selection, that comes in my styling, that comes in my backgrounds. Do not be boring. I often start off with myself in the middle and then I change things up because the middle gives me at least a basis. If we're shooting pictures for Instagram, we have time to do multiple shots. If you are just taking a picture for like your family album, okay, you in the middle is fine. I like to shoot with murals. And so oftentimes with the mural, I often have to figure out how I'm gonna fit into the mural. With writing, I wanna make sure that I'm fitting in a particular area of the writing. I've recently taken pictures with cartoon characters. I wanna be placed in a specific place with the cartoon characters and then have it be framed so you can basically see enough of the mural to understand what's going on. If you're looking at a picture and you're like, I'm not sure how I wanna crop this, make it bigger. Almost better to get more of the background. You can always crop in a photo, but once you've taken a photo in your home, you can't be like, I wish I had that piece that was missing. So what I've been doing lately is when I'm shooting, I frame things very large. Same thing when I shoot a YouTube video. I always recommend make the frame larger than you would want it to be and just crop in. If you're using a smartphone with a good camera like an iPhone or a Galaxy, you will be fine. If you're using an expensive camera, it's gonna be perfect, right? So you're gonna be able to frame things larger and bring it in and not lose much clarity. I basically have one friend that does the majority of my pictures. Whenever she shoots me, she does not stay in one place and just take my pictures. She comes in close, she goes out far, she does detail shots, do all those things. Treat your tripod like it's a photographer and move it around. This is for Instagram. You never know what you're gonna need. Memory, disk space, all that is plentiful. You can delete pictures. I find that there's so many things I kind of missed out on when I was shooting. Because I framed it so wide, I'm able to capture and I'm always happy. I've never been upset about framing something too wide, but I have been upset about me going into narrow and missing out on certain details that I would have wanted. My ways of elevating the photos are make sure that you're using natural sunlight, make sure that you're picking backgrounds that work for your outfit and the lighting, and finally, make sure that you're framing your pictures in an interesting way when you shoot. When you actually have to adjust the size of the photo for Instagram or whatever medium you want to publish it on, you have more freedom. So those were the 3 things that I used to elevate my photos. Let me know which one of these core concepts you're going to try first. All right, see you next time. Bye.